yatata hawallaqtakunapi uyarimarniykuna wayqikuna panaykuna kunaqa allintaki wayrakuna chaymunqa kay Puerto Rico nacionmanta pacha paykuna sutinmi calle 13 Ilalpataq vemos taquita pomanchis chaytaki sutinmi Latinoamérica uyariykusunchis
Cancunapa. Soy lo que dejaron, soy toda la sobra de lo que se robaron. Un pueblo escondido en la cima, mi piel es de cuero, por eso aguanta cualquier clima. Soy una fábrica de humo, mano de obra campesina para tu consumo. Frente de frío en el medio del verano, el amor en los tiempos del cólera, mi hermano. El sol que nace y el día que muere, con los mejores atardeceres. Soy el desarrollo en carne viva, un discurso político sin saliva. Las caras más bonitas que he conocido, soy la fotografía de un desaparecido, la sangre dentro de tus venas. Soy un pedazo de tierra que vale la pena una canasta con frijoles. Soy Maradona contra Inglaterra, anotándote 2 goles. Soy lo que sostiene mi bandera, la espina dorsal del planeta en mi cordillera. Soy lo que me enseñó mi padre, el que no quiere a su patria, no quiere a su madre. Soy América Latina, un pueblo sin pierna pero que camina. Oye,
tú no puedes comprar al viento, tú no puedes comprar al sol, tú no puedes comprar la lluvia, tú no puedes comprar el calor, tú no puedes comprar las nubes, tú no puedes comprar los colores, tú no puedes comprar mi alegría, tú no puedes comprar mis dolores, tú no puedes comprar al viento, tú no puedes comprar al sol, tú no puedes comprar la lluvia, tú no puedes comprar el calor, tú no puedes comprar las nubes, tú no puedes comprar los colores, tú no puedes comprar mi alegría, tú no puedes comprar mis dolores.
tengo los lagos, tengo los ríos, tengo mis dientes pa' cuando me sonrío, la nieve que maquilla mis montañas, tengo el sol que me seca y la lluvia que me baña, un desierto embriagado con peyote, un trago de pulque para cantar con los coyotes, todo lo que necesito. Tengo a mis pulmones respirando azul clarito, la altura que sofoca. Soy las muelas de mi boca, mascando coca. El otoño con sus hojas desmayadas, los versos escritos bajo la noche estrellada. Una viña repleta de uva, un cañaveral bajo el sol en Cuba. Soy el mar Caribe que vigila las casitas, haciendo rituales de agua bendita. El viento que peina mi cabello. Soy todos los santos que cuelgan de mi cuello. El jugo de mi lucha no es artificial porque el abono de mi tierra es natural.
Tú no puedes comprar el viento, tú no puedes comprar el sol, tú no puedes comprar la lluvia, tú no puedes comprar el calor, tú no puedes comprar las nubes, tú no puedes comprar los colores, tú no puedes comprar mi alegría, tú no puedes comprar mis dolores. Não se pode comprar o vento, não se pode comprar o sol, não se pode comprar a chuva, não se pode comprar o calor, não se pode comprar as nuvens, não se pode comprar as cores, não se pode comprar minha alegria, não se pode comprar minhas dores. Não puedes comprar el sol, no puedes comprar la lluvia.
Pero con orgullo, aquí se comparte, lo mío es tuyo. Este pueblo no se ahoga con marullo, y si se derrumba, yo lo reconstruyo. Tampoco pestañeo cuando te miro, para que te recuerdes de mi apellido. La operación Cóndor invadiendo mi nido. Perdono, pero nunca olvido, oye.
Vamos caminando, aquí se respira lucha. Vamos caminando, yo canto porque se escucha.
Hello, my friend. Much better. Thank you so much. First of all, but I think it's first and only thing I want to say, or maybe a little bit more. I'm super thankful about what you wrote. Not like I don't need like to protect me or something, because I think I'm strong enough and I know the truth about these girls and about what I wrote to them and what they wrote to me. I'm just trying to keep it, a little bit lower, not like a volcano, because not explode. But about the psychology problems, what you wrote about this, because I hope they will just maybe even think about it, because what's happening now in their community, but I guess it just maybe 50-60 people there in the chat, because I have also Ukrainian friends who watching this and they're all in shock. But yeah, it's the serious reason, and everyone just saw how crazy these people are, because what's happening, I'm actually really trying to keep, this attention less, because I don't want to damage or demotivate other people who are in the dance community that it's with this bullshit, because, everyone tired from everything. In my dance group, I have 3 people with clinical depression, and I'm super careful about them to, yes, even not show what's going on. I mean, with these girls, not with Ukrainian, because everyone in Kazakhstan know what's going on in Ukrainian. Like, of course, it's obviously, of course, nobody supports the war, and this is sorry, but this is fucking obviously that we are pro peace, pro everything. This is so stupid idea. So we tried to help, and I sent it money to Thaisa. I helped to the refugees, and also I have one girl who, beating me too in the comments right now, and she lived in my house. She fucking lived in my house. She ate our food. She was in my family table. And now she is, put the likes and comments and reposting everything that I'm bad. What the fuck? I helped to you. I bought the stuff for your furniture, not furniture, like, the spoons and, plates there in her room, the washing things in her room, what she rented after, because, I can't live with her all the time. But she had to work, and then she did that, like, oh my god. So yeah, I don't even explain you everything what's going on there, because I'm not against Ukrainians or something, because I really have so much support from my Ukrainian friends. My husband, yes, he's Ukrainian. He was in 24th February there, right in the, almost in the middle. We have our uncle living on the border right now, where was the Russian-Ukrainian border, and she actually see everything with her eyes. And we have a calls. We they trying to not touch the civilians. They try, but of course the bomb can go down everywhere. Now she's pretty safe, but I don't want to even show my private life of my family to these crazy people. And Thaisa, she's really aggressive. She was aggressive before, she's aggressive now, and I'm actually really shocked. I know this girl many years, and I would say that they need a psychology help right now. And it's so sad, and I think they not even try this one. And they will continue to hate, because what my friends in their chat also, and they prepared me, Olga, prepare, that will be, how to say, not program, like agenda, what like the things what they're going to do against me, a plan, exactly, sorry for my not native English, the plan against me. And I was quite prepared for that. And yeah, they want to do only the things what they want. They don't want to listen. But trust me, we have more nice people in Ukrainian and everywhere. And I believe in them so much. Oh my god, I really believe in this country, in these people, that they are trying to keep the humanity in their heart. But yeah, shit is most visible, and it's like, it can be beautiful room, it can be, the nice smell everywhere, but if in the room one shit laying somewhere, even in the angle or under the sofa, everyone can smell it. Everyone will ask, what's going on? What is the smell? What is la la la? So yeah, that was quite hard for me to go through it from last 10 days. It was, first time for me what I'm experienced for, but I was ready for that. And they don't know me, they don't know my friends, they don't know but they actually know us, and they maybe forgot what we did for them, how much money we sent it, how much help we provided for them. And what I understood, it's impossible to talk with them, because anything what you will say, it will go against you. Anything, even if you put, the dot or any, I don't know, number or emoji or something, even if I will answer with heart to them, they will be super aggressive for me, because I'm not the first person who was attacked with them. They attacked before another girls, and I know the stories, but because maybe I'm a little bit more visible and more followers here, so maybe it was more visible, and they tried to hype on that situation. But yeah, it is crazy. So yeah, just I wishing you all the best, and to not even experience with crazy people bad stuff, and to keep this believe in good people. The social media like that, the people who can judge you just because of something, and they can cancel you just because of something. And yeah, nationalism, racism, any kind of this shit shouldn't exist in the world, because I was born in Kazakhstan. It's really peaceful. It's multi-religion, multi-nation country. Not just many nations there, many religions there. It's wow, because how we even survived, and we hold on how our hands together, to go through all these things. My grandpa was in war, and he respect all German people. He learned the German. He read the German books, because so many amazing authors there, even after Great War Second. So just let's believe in the best future, and holding our arms together. Sorry for many messages, but yeah, I'm this kind of person who like blah 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 blah, because it's really hard to, to write that, because just I hate commenting something. I hate to write. I'm really bad in this, and I like emotions. I'm really emotional person, and I really wanted to. I'm okay if you write instead of sending out, but I'm so grateful for you. I'm just sending the hugs and everything that you have. You're super brave to write them, but please, 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 please be careful with the people, like this kind of people. So yeah, they can be really aggressive and dangerous. But I understand their pain, but I can't apply their pain on myself, and they need to go through these things themselves. I can't help to them, sorry. So yeah, kisses. I know what is it, Nazism and racism, maybe less racism, but Nazism more, because actually I'm from Kazakhstan, and when I go to USA, and they always like, oh, Kazakhstan, it's like a Borat, and it was so unfair, like you came from, I don't know where, because I really love, I would like to say like from Afghanistan, but I love Afghanistan as a culture, because they have so much amazing culture that time. Iran, I'm so respect their culture. Yes, I know this is quite difficult times for many Middle East countries, but as a Middle East citizen, now I'm living in Estonia, but I'm still my heart in Kazakhstan. I really felt this, like, Kazakhstan, it's somewhere, what the fuck, we don't know. So it's like a Borat movie. And I'm showing the picture for them, like, no, this is Kazakhstan. And therefore, I posted the videos about Astana and Kazakhstan. Yes, we was like with a huge country, and Kazakhstan, the size of Kazakhstan is like whole Europe. You can imagine, whole Europe, it's the size of my country. So we are huge, but we have just 17 millions there of different nations and religions. We're surviving, we're holding our hands. And this is my position. And I explained this many times for everyone, but I don't want to even post about this fucking every day. It's not my job. My job as a dancer, it's to dance and, to unify. And I believe that I can. I believe that I can take the Ukrainians' hands, the Russian hands, and unify them no matter what. If we will look to the history, what's wrong was between the Japanese and Chinese. Some of the Chinese people still hate the Japanese. But we can be on one stage. We can unify. I know this in the history, it's not fair and everything, but this is my job. Like the dance, I still believe that the dance can communicate the people, but not that way what they're doing. I can't feel their pain. I can't create the art of someone pain. I can't create And what we are talking about, the art, just put the flag on your shoulders and do Egyptian. No, sorry. I believe in another art. I think I can project my art through my own pain and not somebody's pain, because I can't feel their pain. It's their pain. They was there. They lived there. I'm not lived in Ukrainian. But they try to apply all their pain on everyone in the world. We have our own pains in life. So I think it's super important topic, to think about. So I have less attention on these girls because I know them many years, but actually I wasn't friendly with, they wasn't friendly with me, never. So they always like, yes, they did my classes. There wasn't the performance project, but I was a teacher. I have 20, 30 people in the class. So I like, okay, I'm standing here for sharing with you information. So someone I don't even remember really, because so many people. And yeah, like, oh my God, like what's happened? I think we all need to think about many things, about art, about pacifism, or how to say, like, pro peace thing, and about building in ourselves the feeling of humanity and humanism as a true thing without canceling nations. So yeah.
Thank you for sending me your text messages, well, your voice messages. I appreciate it too much. I admire your work. I wanted to see you in Guadalajara, but I couldn't. It was too rainy and it's very dangerous for myself, for where I live. But I totally was prepared to go to your show here, so I'm so sorry, but totally you are very support. Your art is really beautiful. I have no problem. As a Mexican, I'm very used to it, to people look us down, that people are racist to us. And that's what I saw. And what I experienced in Europe, I know it's just a fraction of the people from Ukraine. Some rich Ukrainians or Ukrainian criminals could be, I just don't know. Because when people can let you out to die in your refugee center, for me, they are criminals. But I'm okay with Ukraine. So have no problem, please. I don't feel even bad. I just had to call out this because I was thinking they are attacking another person now, because I saw they were attacking late the night. I will put you her name. She's my friend. And when they attack her, they say the same. They call us aggressive. And I was watching, this is just a recording over and over about the same words. And they are not even trying to really, they're not trying to even really do something or talk. They just want to say they're angry and somebody they have to boycott. And I'm against that. I don't like it. But yeah, that's why I made a video, but I'm okay. I have no problem. I was just shocked. I am very passionate as a Mexican, and I had went through a lot. And a lot of Mexican people, they had me do worse things than these girls are doing to you. So I'm so sorry that you know them, and I'm so sorry they are so aggressive. But I've been worse with people that I gave my life, my love, my family, and that even we helped when they were in their darkest moments. So I totally understand it's painful. But yeah, just keep going. And sometimes people, they cannot leave behind their egos, their pain, their sorrow, their violence. And I'm against violence. And I don't see it as a medium for nothing, because it only grows and it only goes back to the people who are violent. So stay safe, and thank you so much for writing me and for talking to me. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I know it's quite not surpriseful, but yeah, it's sad situation because after first, like, oh my God, we should help them, and people invited people in their houses and they trying to give you support, and then people show their own faces. And yeah, not all faces are nice, and many people who run away from the country, even the mans, but the mans wasn't allowed in the beginning, go out from the country. And yeah, they just like, we can understand, we can be sorry for them, but it's not giving them permission to do that. But they created this permission to themselves, like, as they told, like, we have a right to do that. Like, who gave you right to treat someone, no matter where, no matter with which passport it's treating? Thank you so much for talk too, and if you need the time or to talk about something, just yeah. I'm not posting so much, but I really, and when I was in Mexico, we also, maybe you know that Carla's father, he died. So yeah, that's most hurtful thing when we lose somebody from our family. And I think it's most important thing is to be safe. If we have legs and arms in our culture, we'll say we just that's amazing. And if we have arms and legs, feet and hands, we can survive. Even if somebody don't have legs and arms, they can survive too. So it's so important to live and to believe in something. So I wish you to believe and to not lose this hope for something. I think I'm from different culture, and for me, Mexico was wow. That was always like, I think Kazakhstan really love Mexico, and Mexico was super amazing country and so exotic for us. Exotic in the good way, like not the bad way. And when I was in Mexico, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yes, I was more expected that it's more, the better economy there. But when I saw, the realities, how people live, how people, what the buildings are, and the everyday life, not like sites and places you should go. No, I saw how people live, and I understood, oh my god, the economy in Mexico is really sucks. So like everywhere, but still I was expected that it's more, like wow, like I saw in the pictures. And at the same time, in Mexico, you have so many amazing places, and I really want to go, and I have plans for Mexico too. I love Mexico culture. It's so beautiful. I like all cultures in the world because culture is beautiful, and it can be, bad. And I would like to see more about that. Latin America in general. And I'm going to Brazil. I was in Argentina. I was in Guatemala. Guatemala is such a beautiful country too. Crazy person. I want to go in, crazy countries like Venezuela, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, North Korea. I want to see how people live there. Like people like we are. It's so interesting because it's like how people surviving. And I would say that I saw so many amazing dancers in Mexico. I was just impressed by, during the COVID especially. I don't know why a lot of people, Spanish speakers, and especially from Mexico and Spain, was a participants on the Zoom classes many times. And I was like, oh my god, such an amazing dancers. And that's so cool that you have the basement to improve the dance style, the culture, everything, and just yeah, that I give my hand for you, and just really appreciate how much passion Mexicans put in their dance. No matter what, no matter how much problems we have in our countries. Kazakhstan has so much problem. Europe has so much problems here inside, which is covered, from TV shows. oh my God, yes, to be employer and to be supported by someone, it's like super uncomfortable situation. Even if I has a husband, I don't know, I don't like I like the help what he gave me during my how to say, after childbirthing period, but I feel so uncomfortable. I want to work, I want to do my things, I want realization in the life. So yeah, I can feel you how it is. But yeah, spend the time for education is so much important. Education in general, with starting from your heart and then to the just knowledges that you need to survive, and also maybe online version for your, I don't know what kind of profession you have, so maybe you can find online things. But yeah, good luck for you. And during the COVID, all my family lost a job, and it was so helpful that I was a dancer, and all my money I spent it on my family because they lost their jobs. Everyone. It's so crazy. My mom, my husband, parents, but they're pensioners already, so they have some pension, but it's not enough always. My husband lost his job, and only my Zoom classes and on classes, I'm only survived with this. I'm so grateful for that. I built a studio downstairs. I'm invested, and 2 days ago I had just 200 euros on my credit card. Yeah, I have the salary soon, but I send it minimum, and I have Cappadocia money, and a lot of money I send it to Turkey right now because I know that more people need. I not buying, super expensive stuff here. I'm just paying for my daughter classes, for gymnastic, for competitions, the things I'm investing in her better life in the future too. I'm trying to be, because I don't know, I was in super poor family. My family was alcoholic, and my mom, I have better relationships with my mom now, when we grew up both. But yeah, it was so hard. My father, I don't have so much family because my father was divorced with her many years ago, and it was so stressful for me when I was at 10. But in that time, when I was at 10, I realized that, oh my God, Olga, responsibility in your hands. That's the time that you just need to take your responsibility. No winning, no child mode, and just hold all your passion to the life, or I don't know, everything, all the wishes, all the thoughts, all responsibility on your health, in your hands, and just do instead of winning or do something. So yes, that's my plan for my life, I think so. And yeah, we all don't need to prove someone that we are good, or look at us, we donated the money, like look at me, look at me, look at me. So because I think it's kind of, yeah, these people need a psychotherapy. But yeah, i I really wish that you can find the job and the thing what you love to do, because it's so important for self-realization. And yeah, sorry for a lot of audio message. I'm driving from my daughter gymnastic class to home, and I'm so grateful for you can share also your information. If you need any help, let me know. I'm stand.
Thank you, Olga. I hope your family is fine. I hope you have a good winter, because I totally get how winter is. I lived in France from 2008 to 2009, and the winter there where we were minus 17, so I cannot even understand. Just some days, a bigger winter. So stay safe, and same, if you need something that I can help, I'm here. I'm telling you. And thank you so much for sharing these personal things with me. Um, um, in my house, you are always welcome. Don't worry. And my family, we aren't rich, but we aren't poor, so we are okay. And yeah, have a beautiful day, and I hope your daughter become a beautiful gymnastic or something, or it just works for her. Bye.
Давай. И раз. И вытянулись два. Да. Давай. И раз. И вытянулись два. Да. Давай.
Muchas gracias, mi amiga.
Hi there. So, I've been doing live transmissions for something that is called Twitch since, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and it has been especially to promote mental health, to help to cope with the lockdown everywhere. And you know that pandemics became very, I don't know, super weird. Hi there. So, I've been doing live transmissions for something that is called Twitch since, I don't know, like 2 years ago, and it has been especially to promote mental health, to help to cope with the lockdown everywhere. And you know that pandemics became very, I don't know, super weird, and it just started to crumble all the economics and a lot of things in all over the world. I was going to sleep today. Actually, I have my pajama, and I just have a beautiful scarf because I don't want to show you all my pajamas. I just want to look a little bit better. So in this week, and I think 2 or 3 weeks back, I was saying that for everything that I was seeing and for a few opinions here and there, I thought that we were very close to a probably third world war, and that I was very aware that those are big words, and I'm not just talking about it because I think because I want to grab attention or something like that at all. I was saying that because I was feeling the need to talk about it, and I have like 165 followers, which is not too much, but in Twitch means like you are kind of like a big success, because my channel has no more than 2 years and a half or less, so it's kind of like big. And in the gaming communities, they talk about all these subjects, and a lot of them are friends, and they know each other in real life, so it's kind of like a little important, not not to be self-centered, but most because I thought I care about these people, and I just use that space to share news and to share the state of the world. I used to use it only for video games, but I can't play video games as before, because I just my span to play video games now, it's kind of like I can't. It's very hard, and I tried, and then I was very sick, and I was really sick. And lucky, I had some rest yesterday and today, and I feel very good. But I was really sick. So pandemics, it's hard. And I want to talk about something that is very important for the dance community, and that I understand it's a sensitive subject, and I am neutral as I can, because weird stuff. First of all, everybody is kind of like competing since long time ago. Who is, this is my view, okay? Who is the one who has suffered more? Who generation suffered more? Or who are richer, or who has more right to something? Who has more right to the land? Who has more right to a language? Who has been more hurt for cultural appropriation, who has been more victim than others, blah, blah, blah. This is how I look. Because as I have indigenous genes, and in my city in Guadalajara, they just like white chicks and white blonde ladies. They are pretty, or they don't have to be blonde, but they have to be white, and they have to be kind of like more European. And my nose is not so European, but anyway, it's later in life I knew it was kind of like a little bit European, but for me in my country, it's not. It's not European. It's not beautiful because it's not a right nose like this. That will be considered pretty here. So my nose is like that, and it's like bigger. So now a lot of people, when I was an adult, they thought it was beautiful. But all my childhood and all my teenager years, and when I was a young adult, I got discriminated. And even despite a lot of people were saying you're a beautiful girl, despite that, some people, they will not date you because you're not the European trait that they wanted, or it will look good in their families. Yeah, I don't care. But despite that, I was very happy. I have a beautiful life. I had a beautiful family, great friends. I was very happy. But definitely it closed so many doors. It closed scholarships. It closed me a lot of things. It took me a lot of sweat, work, to go to places in academics, to gain a scholarship. It was very hard. It was very hard, and I deserved it because I worked 5 or 10 times harder than anybody else with my skin color, brownish or white. So I say that in a proud way. What I'm saying is that years back, I've been working in diversity and inclusion groups, and I've been helping charity. Well, not anymore, but a little bit as I can. Since I was a kid, I got family that will help, even if my family wasn't rich. They will help church. They will help to cook meals for people who were poor, or we will help somebody who was in need. And every year since I was a kid, we will donate toys to anybody who were orphans in Guadalajara. So I feel like I'm saying this because people that live hardships, they think they only need the help, and I don't understand that, because I think that you can help a little bit too. You know what I mean? Even if you are getting the worst time ever. So let me just a second. Let me start saying Mexico has been with in violence for indigenous people, for in the streets, in the cities, since I was a kid, since the 90s. But that was kind of like sort of regular violence compared to Europe or the US in some ways, which is very sad. But the indigenous communities, some of them were totally erased, and a lot of people care, which is beautiful. Especially people in Europe. After that, since 2015, my country has been watching violence grow and grow and grow and grow and grow every month, every week, every day, every year. I don't have all the statistics, but I know that probably last year, I was saying today that we are the second country with more violence after Syria, but my mistake. We are the first country in the world with more violence, and we are not in a war. So can you explain that to me, because I don't understand it. Nobody's talking enough about this. We don't care to anybody. I got used to it, to that, because it's a painful reality. We don't care to anybody because we don't have bombs. Because if we don't have bombs, then nobody cares about us. Nobody will bring a tank to save us. We don't have no European Union to bring us and give us billions of euros to help us to go through unemployment, violence, disappearing of women, and disappearing of men and of kids. We have in total at least more than 30,000 women disappear. I will say we are like 35 women disappear in Mexico since a few years back. Nobody knows where they are. And we have more than 70,000 of men disappeared in Mexico. Sort of, kind of like almost 80,000. So more than 100,000 of Mexicans are just disappeared. They just flew away. Nobody knows where they are. After that, and that's come like in the last 4 years, sort of, since 2018. And since 2022, there are almost 2 million of people that died of coronavirus, officially, because apparently a lot of people say that many Mexicans, kind of like 1 million, died of coronavirus, but they call it pneumonia, pulmonia, or something different. You cannot imagine the pain and sorrow that my country has. It's an invisible pain, an invisible sorrow, because we don't have bombs. We don't have bombs, but we have explosions every week. We have gunshots every day. Just a few hours back, I just hear a guy doing 2 guns, and 5 minutes, another. And in the afternoon, I hear an explosion. And since 2021, in November, December, I have heard explosions. Now really scary. Most of people in my city were at least in the, I don't know, like 5 kilometers around where I live. Most of people are silent. They are trying to process their pain and their grief. I don't want to talk too much about it, but because it's painful. But almost 1 month ago, one of our family friends just died almost in front of my house. Gunshots. We heard everything. It was not just painful, and I don't want to talk about my pain because her family has more pain than us. So I don't even feel like that I should talk about pain, because she was not my mom, she was not my daughter, she was not my sister. So I don't even feel I have the right to speak out for her pain, for the family pain, but it was painful. It was terrible, painful. These stories are not just about me. This not happened just to me. I'm unemployed long time ago because women became violent in my country. Because they decided to believe some gossiping here and there, which I will not go further away because there are people that I don't want to hurt reviving that story. And it's basically in the past for me, and I'm not even mad. And I only pray for beautiful Mexican citizens that are the future of our country. And that's everything I will say. But I've been unemployed and nobody wanted to give me unemployment because I was something hard to work. Because people said that I was complaining too much when I never complained. And if anyone ever need, I can give you the name of my former bosses and you can contact them because I had an excellent relationship with them. Unlucky, I didn't have a good relationship with people that were violent and were harassing people where I was working because they were in very aggressive unions that I didn't know they existed. It was complex. It was horrible to find out years later that they were part of people that were violent in order to just keep a work. When actually in my city there were a lot of places to have a job. I don't know, these things happen. Violence grows, and in violent ambiences and cities, violence can grow. I'm not here to judge them because God will judge them. Karma will judge them. It's not about that. It's about to tell you how violence around you can become people violent. Even people who used to be peaceful, even people who has families, even moms, even dads. And I don't think that's okay, and I don't think that people should justify that violence. Everybody needs to be all the time accountable of their actions, and everybody needs to control their emotions and their pain. And as an adult, because I'm 35 years old, I'm not younger, it's one of the hardest things in my life. So can you imagine, after being unemployed and all that I had to tell you? Since 2018 I had a sickness, since 2017. So until 2020, because I took 2 years to be better, but still I had horrible pains, physical pains of my nervous system. I started to look for a job, and then I realized nobody wanted to hire me because people were talking really bad about me. And years later, I was like, even people that I was protecting, women I was protecting, Mexican women, they talk horrible and they made me pranks because I was a bad woman, because they listened to a lot of gossips, because they just wanted to cover their own sins. Some of them had families very complicated. Some of them did worse things in the past. And that's how violence can grow. And that's how violence, some people, they say they're helping. Some people, they say they're the saviors. And they just basically throw into the fire to everybody else. What happened? And that's the point of this video, but I want you to know why. Last year, 2022, I decided I had to go to Europe because the situation in my country was unbearable to continue. Nobody will offer me a job. I asked for a job as a waitress to one of a lady that I will call her my friend, and one of my ladies that I will say she was my friend from college, despite we were not close. But I wanted to help them, and they were saying they wanted to help me. I don't they offered to pay me for free coffees or free food, but in the end I will pay her with jewelry or something, because I don't want nothing. I don't want to owe nothing to anybody. I don't want to have a debt with anybody. So I will give them a lot of presents and I will create jewelry for free for them. So I don't have a debt with nobody. And also I will pay for my own food in the end, because I was feeling uncomfortable to have some pranks that they were not pranks. I was a bad woman. I was a threat for their husbands. So I decided I don't want those kind of people around me, because they are just getting crazy. And I just hope God bless them. And I hope they don't find to somebody who believes the same about them, because that's how life works. So anyway, I was really confused, sad, hurt. My dad was very sick, was in hospital for a long time. I was very depressed. I had a lot of pain in my back. I had no money. My family, everybody is struggling for job, for paying the bills. It's hard. So I decided I need to go to Europe. There's a lot of offers for people with my background in tech. And with everything that I have studied, I will find a good job so I can help my family and I can have a good life, finally, because here nobody wants to hire me. So I went to Europe. It was not a vacation. I just put it on my social media as it was a vacation, but it wasn't. My family told me not to go because they were concerned about the situation in Ukraine. But I was very desperate because I had no money, no income, as I still have not. So I was very desperate. I took a credit card. Let's go to Europe. Let's have a debt. But I will pay it because I will find a job, because I know I'm qualified. Everybody told me you will have to return to Mexico because you need to go for the visa there for working here, and then you have to come back again. And I was like, it's okay. Just I want people to know me, to give me the job. Everything was kind of like going okay. Some of my friends were helping me. They were very, very beautiful and nice to help me, despite they had their own problems. And they don't have to help me, but they did it. When I was in Europe, one of the first places I went was in the first month, because I was a month and something. The first week and a half, sort of, I went to a refugee center in St. Gallen, Switzerland. It's very near to Zurich. They speak German there. I saw an Ukrainian family there. For their privacy, I will say no more. And I saw some people from Ukraine, but I just saw some people from Ukraine that were just a few days back in the war. It was very hard. I spoke with the people there. I knew their struggles. I saw African ladies too. I saw people with different colors, skin colors. And I saw some people from Latin America. But they told me the place was especially for Ukrainian people. They told me I could go for food if I needed, if I was staying there, or because they had no place for refugees, just Ukrainian refugees. And that was a story everywhere in all Europe. They will not offer refugee to nobody, not even African people, just Ukrainian people. This was in 2022, kind of like May, June, in the summer, sort of. Yeah, I just don't remember the right dates. I just don't remember. But it was, yeah, it was May and June, yeah. So it was very complex to see a family of Ukrainian people that look very hurt, very complex, with little kids. That's all I will say for their privacy, because they have right to privacy. After that, I traveled to Germany here and there to find job, to ask, to visit friends, to stay there, and all the time I was in Europe, every day I was sending curriculums to everybody, emails. You cannot imagine. Sometimes I will not sleep in order to create jewelry, to sell as artisanal job to my friends, or to give as a gift to somebody who will give me a meal or something, because I don't like to have things for free. I will do it because I knew they were good people and they were having their own problems and very scared about a possible war in all Europe. So more or less things I saw people I love. And there was a moment where Angela Merkel gave a speech saying that Europe was still in the Cold War. You cannot imagine how people become crazy and barbaric in Germany. It was like a war. People were doing pranks, putting sounds of video games like bombs throwing. Some people in downtown Munich become crazy and barbaric in Germany. It was like a war. People were doing pranks, putting sounds of video games like bombs throwing. I have no idea why some people in downtown Munich, they will put sounds like bombs dropping. People were running scared in the streets. I hear them like Nintendo bombs. It was really insane, the sound. I had no idea why people were running, because for me, that sound like sounds of video games. But people, I think that they were not thinking, they were too stressed. I saw from my window in a Catholic refugee center, people running, people going in their cars really fast, almost crashing their cars. People going and almost falling from the bicycles. people running with, I don't know how you call it, but you put the babies running with that stuff. It was insane, people. It was just, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was thinking, I'm crazy. I should be scared. These are bombs. And next day I hear the same sounds, but I was on the street, and I had to stay very calm, because from a tunnel I could hear a car going very fast, getting crazy, and bicycle people almost kicked me because they were just insanely running away like crazy. After that, I went to Frankfurt because I thought Munich was going crazy. I couldn't get in touch with my friends. Everybody was really stressed out, and I couldn't know why. But it was because the cities, all in Germany, they were crazy. All the refugees were trying to get out from Germany. All the foreign people, they were trying to get out from Germany when they heard Angela Merkel saying that the Cold War never stopped in Europe. It was shocking. But at the same time, I stayed in Frankfurt, and I asked help to the refugee center to go to Frankfurt, because I was trying to come back to Mexico, but the flights were very expensive from Munich. So I decided I can go to Frankfurt, and it's cheaper and anything. And I know better the city, so I was thinking I will be better. 1 or 2 days after I arrived, because I was waiting for a flight, and I was waiting to ask for jobs, interview, and here and there, and they gave me, in the Mexican embassy, they gave me a lot of contacts to ask for jobs, so I was waiting for replies, and I sent thousands of emails, I just don't remember anymore, and applications on LinkedIn, I just don't remember how many. So while I was on the refugee center, I was sending curriculums, I was sending emails here and there, putting my contact names, because I wanted people to contact my former bosses, because many of them didn't work anymore there, so you can imagine that if they didn't work anymore there, they will say they don't know you, so it will be just a mess. And I was tired of that. So I was there, and suddenly, a Friday night, thousands, probably, of Ukrainians arrived to the Frankfurt main station in Germany. Thousands. Every hour I saw different people. It was insane. In the Catholic refugee centers, probably you don't know because you haven't been there, they offer you food for free, drinks for free, but also they offer you money. I tell you because in Munich, a lady offered me money, but I told her I didn't want to take the money because they already gave me a hotel room, and I wanted the money to go to somebody who will need it the most. I didn't even ask for food in Munich, but in Frankfurt I asked for food and water and drinks, which was kind of not so safe. Better to ask for bottled drinks. It is what it is. So after that, one Friday, no, that was when I arrived. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Friday was different. It was been crazy. When I arrived to Frankfurt, I don't know if it was a Wednesday or Tuesday, I just don't remember. In the night, they tried to put me in a hotel, but everything was booked up. Some Ukrainians were just arrived to the refugee center, and they didn't allow to a lot of people to stay there because there's no space to sleep. So they told me, you can stay here, but there's no place to sleep. You will have to stay in a bench, or you in a wood bench, or you will have to stay in a chair. And I was like, it's okay. There was a special place for for playing instruments and reading books in Frankfurt that was separated from the main and common area. And they told me I could go there, but it was full. There was an Ukrainian lady that she was asking for refugee with a small baby. I don't know, a very small baby. And she was, I asked her if she had food, and she said I couldn't eat nothing today. And I was very scared for her because I saw her when she arrived. So I told her, I have a chocolate if you want it. And she was very happy, and she looked me like a puppy when they are kind of like, oh my God, you are helping me, or you love me, you know. And she was very happy, and I told her, I will allow you to stay with your kids so it doesn't wakes up. And she was really sweet to me. I left the place, and I told a guy if I could sleep elsewhere because I didn't want to bother the baby, and there was a lot of people there. And they allowed me to stay sleeping in a chair, and I stayed there. Next day, I wake up, I go out to the station, I go out because I thought I couldn't stay too much time in the refugee center to don't avoid their works. And I just stay out in the street, and I just watch people passing by. And it was not very calm, but it was not so terrible yet. There was a lot of people kind of like violent and aggressive. I don't know from where. I go back inside to the refugee center, and I sit in a table to enjoy my free meal. And I see the Ukrainian lady with her husband. They look just like rich people. She has a Chanel bag. She has makeup. She's very polished. Her hair looks impeccable. And I'm like, she doesn't look like yesterday. And she has a lot of food. Expensive food. She looks at me like she didn't know me. And I was like, okay, probably she has problem with the husband, I don't know. And I felt very stupid to have gave her my last chocolate to a lady that has the money to buy Chanel when she's asking for a refugee in Frankfurt. You cannot even imagine. I wanted to cry because I had no more food. And I hated to ask for food to a refugee center. I was saving my money to my flight back in my credit account to to get a good flight. Anyway, it happens Friday, and a lot of Ukrainians come here and there. It was a horrible night. Saturday night? No. On Tuesday, before the Friday, I see a lot of people coming and going. A lot of Ukrainian. More than on Friday. It was insane. Every hour. It was full of new people from Ukraine. All of them had food. And I saw some ladies in early morning with kids, like in their 20s. And their kids were kind of like very unpolished, very dirty. And then they look nice, normal. And they will come back 2 or 3 hours later, and they will look like they had the most expensive makeup. The kids, they could go here and there, they didn't care. They look at me up and down, and they will call me names in Ukrainian, because it looks, if you study languages, it's very easy to understand what Latin languages, they're very similar. And a lot of Ukrainian words, they look a lot of Latin, and I have studied Latin, so I couldn't understand some bad words they were saying about me, because I was reading a lot of Ukrainian articles those days, and I was like, and they were looking at me with hate. You can hide that. They were looking at me like hate, and they were start to talk in English, saying that I needed to return to my country, and that I didn't deserve to be a refugee in Germany. And I heard this from all foreign people in Europe, that I didn't deserve to be a refugee in Germany, that they were moms and they deserved more a place than me. Some even Arabic women were saying that in Munich, that I was a monster because I didn't was thinking on the children. And I was like, I don't want to be a refugee. I want to have a job. I'm not asking for free help like you. And that's disgusting. So these Ukrainian ladies, they were looking at me horrible, and they were trying to make me go from the refugee center. They tried for hours. They totally tried. I lost my Wi-Fi when they were around, which was really weird. And they stayed there trying to take me out from the refugee center, looking me really bad and making their kids trying to make me uncomfortable. I just didn't listen to them. More Ukrainians tried that, but I couldn't forget these young two ladies. Like, they look like rich young ladies from Ukrainian. And they were just asking for money to the refugee center and using just for having luxury scene, for having their very expensive vacation, costing the money to Germany. It was very painful to watch that. After that, all that day, it was the same. It was really tough. It was tough to hear that people want you out. They will look at you with disapproval, and they will look at you like you didn't deserve to eat. They didn't offer me a hotel, only to Ukrainians, despite, since Munich, they told me I could have a hotel room. They didn't offer me. And when Ukrainian people arrived, I gave to the guys, one of the guys told me they could offer me a hotel room in one of the last nights. And I told them I could stay there on Tuesday night. And I didn't want somebody coming from Ukraine with the war will spend the night sick. And probably there will be moms with kids that could sleep there. And I also gave him jewelry from my own hands. That is not so expensive in Mexico, but it's very expensive in Europe. And I even shared to them that Guadalajara, my city, share the same colors than Ukraine. Our city has the colors yellow and blue. That's our flag in our city. And he was very happy, so I gave him jewelry for anybody that was suffering from Ukraine. Anyway, after that, it was very complex, another story for another day, and I went back to Mexico days later. I'm going to tell you how German people think about this. German people only saw Ukrainian refugees going for money, didn't care about the people there. A lot of Ukrainian people, they feel superior to Germans. Why? I don't know, people. They will go to Catholic centers that are also evangelical centers. They share the same buildings. And they will just grab the money, and they will just be like rich, spoiled persons trying to get more money from the refugee center. It was just distasteful. But also, when I was in the airports, because I didn't saw a lot of Russian people, I experienced to see a lot of Russian people, rich Russian ladies, because all of them were ladies, women, attacking me, saying me words in the airport, calling me things, spitting. When I was going next to them without spit, they will look at you and they will be like, with the sound. And they will train their kids, their teenager kids, to do the same to you. How can you manage that being in a foreign country, being a Mexican, and Ukrainian people and Russian people are telling you go back because you're not European, because you're not white? And Russian people were kind of like, we deserve to be here more than Germans and more than anybody else. It was insane. And German people were locked in their house, scared the shit out of them, and they couldn't contact their families, their friends, because they thought there will be a nuclear war. That's why a lot of refugees and foreign people flew away. So now, why all this topic? Now there's a subject in dance that there's, okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's people from Ukraine saying that people from any country in East Europe cannot hire anybody from Russia. So I will say to all Ukrainian people, should I go out and say to all Mexican people and all my contacts all over the world not to hire anybody from Ukraine because they were racist to me? That will be okay? And because most of them were trying to take me out from the refugee center, that I had the chance to be there because I have friends in Germany, because I'm Mexican and Germany and Mexican have good relationship, and because I'm Catholic and I deserved my place. But a lot of Ukrainians, they were being racist with me, with others, and also they were using the money only to buy Chanel and Prada and Gucci. So should I start to say, let's not hire nobody from Ukraine because they are racist to Mexicans? No. Should I start saying, let's not hire nobody from Russia because anybody who is hiring somebody from Russia, they are not thinking about who should be a good people or not? And because they cause the pain to the Ukrainian people, and they cause Ukrainian people will become barbaric, and they will treat me wrong in a refugee center, and they will only use me and manipulate me to make me think they were poor people just being there. And they will basically allow people to throw me away to the streets, and they will try to force me to get out from the refugee center. Should I start to say that to all Mexicans? I don't think so. A lot of people from Russia has flown away to avoid going to the horrible war that the Russian government is doing. Millions of young people are now out from Russia without being able to contact their parents. because they look like cowards, bad Russians, because they don't want to go to war. A war they don't want to fight. A war that only you Russian people in the government want to have. And some millionaires from Russia and Ukraine, I'm so sorry for saying, but it looks like a lot of billionaires in Ukraine want this war too. All of those millions of people and all of those Russian women, they deserve a big distinction from everybody in the world to put their feelings apart and allow their kids to save Ukrainian people, fleeing away to avoid more pain to more families in Ukraine. I have followed this. I have watched every speech from Ukrainian presidents. I have saw Zelensky in Netflix, in YouTube, interviews, everything I could. I have seen him in Davos. I have seen the First Lady from Ukraine in the Congress, in everywhere. I respect her so much. It can be easy to be a First Lady in a country with war. Let me tell you how you are looked now for a lot of Europeans. You have got a loan for more, I don't know how many billions of euros. People in Germany, it's dying of hunger and poverty in the streets. In France, it happens the same in some areas. Spain, it has so much violence. Italy, have no idea. I couldn't even go to Italy. That's how is Italy these days. So all of these countries are watching Ukraine with billions of euros that comes from the taxes from their countries. And they have a big responsibility now, your government and the citizens, to use very well this money, because everybody else in Europe is getting poor. It's getting a lot of violence, and it's getting a lot of Ukrainian refugees, and they don't get the respect that they deserve. So when you are saying don't hire to somebody because it's from Russia, I will ask yourself, should people hire you because I lived racism with Ukrainian refugees fleeing from war in Germany? Should I say they should stop hiring you too? This is going to be pointing fingers everywhere? Because that kind of things, it's called intolerance. And I understand that when you are getting bombs every day, you get PTSD. It's a horrible situation. As a Mexican, I have PTSD. Now it's controlled. Since 2018 until 2022, probably before going to Europe, a few months going to Europe, back before, my PTSD was calm finally from years that I thought I will ever will be normal person. So I understand that you're going through a lot of pain and you have, I will be like you. If I will have stayed in Germany and Ukrainians will have been still horrible to me, probably I will say I hate Ukrainian people. I'm not in Germany, luckily. And I couldn't stay, so they could hurt me more. I prefer to come back to Mexico, despite that we have more dead people, and that we are the first country with more violence in the entire world, more than Ukraine. So this looks like a contest. Who is the one who has more pain? I cannot imagine the pain of people in Russia because people is saying Ukrainian is being silenced because of Putin. How do you think people is in Russia? They can say nothing because otherwise they go to prison. Have you seen the news? A lot of people march against the war. Now they are in prison. Some of them, there's a video of a little Russian girl that just didn't want to have a patriotism class. And she was harassed by Russian militaries. And they went to her house to look everywhere for pro-Ukrainian propaganda. What do you know about Russia really? How you are saying, don't hire Russian people. You are only watching your side of the story like myself. I saw only I have only knew physically in Europe racist Ukrainian people. But I will ever thought everybody in Ukraine is racist. Because that's my side of my experience. But I don't know everybody. I only had to know the worst Ukrainian people that I could know when I was there. Probably I was one day before, 2 days before. They will be amazing. I only know one family that were not even nice or bad to me from Ukraine in St. Gallen. They were so hurt that they couldn't even say me hi. They look physically hurt for the war. They literally escaped bombs from Ukraine. Those are the only ones that were normal, no racist to me. Not in Germany. In Germany, all Ukrainians were racist to me. And still, I was diplomatic and I was nice. And I thought they're going through a lot of pain. They have in their backs everything they have in their lives. They are going away from Ukraine with a lot of pain. And still, I found people who will only use the money for buying Chanel and buying a lot of expensive things. And for a second, I will believe the Ukrainian people are just like them. For a second. But it was painful to listen to all my friends in Europe, all of them. All the dance studios I have been in Europe, all my dance friends, all my dance contacts in Europe, supporting people from Ukraine, refugees from Ukraine, saying, you should care about the kids in Ukraine. And I was like, yes, kids are dying. But I am asking you, you should care about kids in Mexico. They die of a lot of things here and nobody cares. Nobody cares about Mexicans. Because Russian, Asian people, people from East of Europe, people from Europe, people from Africa, people from the US, they come to Mexico, they have fun, and they go. They don't care about us. We're just a place to have beautiful vacation, and we can fucked up. We can be totally dead in the streets. They don't care. I don't even want to mention more about what foreign people do to my country, because I want to keep alive. So you are fighting each other and destroying each other because you are following propaganda. Propaganda to fight each other, when the problem is the Russian government. And the problem is the lack of good diplomacy here and there in many countries in Europe. And I know that because I follow the news, because I know English. I know a high English. I understand German. I understand French. I see different points of view. And what is going to happen is that a lot of Ukrainians are putting fire to say, don't hire Russian people because they hurt us. They don't. The militaries from Russia and the government from Russia, that's very different. Because in that case, I can say, Ukrainian people hurted me. And they should do something because they were racist against Mexicans. And I will ever do that. There's a lot of people in Russia that support Ukrainians, but they can't speak out. You say Ukrainians have been silenced. Well, Russians have been silenced for a long time ago. And they are having a worse time than many people in Ukraine. Believe it or not. They are horrible stories. And they are strong people. And they're so strong as many Ukrainians. Because lots of you have survived to the horrors that the Soviet Union had. And none of you, most of you, you don't want that back. Not Russians, not Ukrainians. But Russian government, they want. You are losing precious time to putting out a lot of your fears, a lot of the violence you have experienced. You're putting that back. Be very careful, because a lot of politicians profit from that. They profit from hate, and they do hate speech to put people fight each other while they grab money here and there. Everybody in Europe will watch what are you going to do with the money that the European Bank is giving to you. Ukrainians will be the richest country with more money despite they are still in a war. Be very careful, because you're being now the people who has more money to recover. And people, it's dying literally of poverty in the streets all over Europe and violence, and you don't care. Be very careful and ask your own government to protect you. That's the work of your government. Look for support. And if there is a way we can help without putting people fight each other, please let us know that. Because right now, everybody is in so much pain, hurt, and sorrow that it cannot be still a competition of who is more hurt. Everybody needs to work their pain. Every day, I don't know if we Mexicans, we will survive. If tomorrow somebody will put more buses with fire and more bullets will be heard than just a few in the night. Everybody is silent, more than Ukraine, more than Russia, because we're scared of shit. There's a lot of people that is unemployed that don't look for a job because it's extremely violent, even for some men. You have no idea. But because we are Mexico and we have sun, we don't suffer. We can die in the streets with a beautiful sun. And with some margaritas next to us. And you don't care. So, hi, from the first country with more violence. Please, let me know when you are the first country with more violence in the world. Please, share me your thoughts about how you should hire somebody or not. If there is a better way, we can help you. If you need help managing PTSD, because it can be horrible, I can help you for free. If you need to understand English, you want English lessons for free and you're from Ukraine, I can help you so you can understand what is going on. So with that, I will have to go because I don't want to cry in this video, because I don't want to share a tear for things from Ukrainians and Russians that hurt me personally, and they have no empathy. When the problem, everybody knows, is that communism wants to be back. And for Finnish people, you are fighting for that. And a third world war, it's just around the corner from the government of Russia, China, and probably North Korea. Their governments, not their people. In the war, everybody dies, except the powerful and the billionaires. And remember, a lot of Ukrainian billionaires, they don't care about people. They care about their billions and their relationships with Russian billionaires. I know because I read articles, because I read about companies, and because I read about investments. Because I totally wanted to live in Germany to get some money, because my country don't hire me. Because of gossip, because of hate speech. You could hurt the life of somebody, and karma, it's a bitch. I have seen it with my own eyes. The people that say gossip and lies and spread lies laughing at me, all of them had a worse time than me. A few years later, I had done nothing. I just saw it with my bare eyes. That life, it's cruel. Life, it's very hard. Don't do that. Don't fall in the trap of propaganda, of hate speech. Have a beautiful night, and I wish you the best. And remember, priorities. If we could live our 3 world war, soon or later or not, who cares if they hire a Russian or not? That's somebody that could die any day. God bless you all. Priorities, people. Hi there. So it's me back now 2 years later. A few days later after this video. Today is 19th of February 2025. I was very sick on my throat on this video. I had a flu and I was not depressed but very sad for the situation in my country. There were a lot of killings and deaths on the streets. There were kids dying of cancer. This was prior to a lot of horrible things that happened in Mexico. I demanded to a lot of people in a good way, with a good English, with the best, with the best intention, with not so much accent. Normally I don't have that much accent, but my throat was really hurt because I was really sick. It was a tiny flu, but I was very my back was hurting a little bit. I was in physical pain and I was very sad for my country, plus the flu, so my voice wasn't the best, and it wasn't meant to be. Like, I did it because people were started to call me names, Ukrainian people, just because I said to someone something beautiful. Like, I tried to ask something to these belly dancers from Frat Chance Belly Dance, linked to Taisa, something about their language, just trying to be nice with them, and they were attacking me.
So the problem is that these ladies from Fat Chance Belly Dance, I don't know if it's the same Carolina Riccio who asked them and request them to hire and to harass dancers from other schools, but they did it. So I think they were just following orders from their teachers, because it looked really insane. Like, it was for nothing, you know? They start to attack me just for saying, hi, how are you in Ukraine? How can we help you? I love your language. Yeah, well, Russian and Ukrainian looks very similar. How you dare? Blah, blah, blah. And I was being nice. I was asking. You understand? So it totally looked like they were, every message I will put, every comment, it totally looked like they had like a big group where Carolina or Diana or someone from Fat Chance Belly Dance University was telling them what to write, what to say, or between everyone. It totally looked like a complot to, because nobody from the Tura belly dance school could comment anything without being attacked by Soy Jake's students or Carolina's Nerikio students. Nobody. Like, not me, not others. Some other dancers, they lost their minds. Not me. They lost everything. They lost the studios, classes, everything. Not Carolina's students or teachers. None of them. So if you were okay with everything that Carolina said, she was super nice. But if you were criticizing her why the change of the name from ATS to Fat Chance Belly Dance, she will destroy you. If you will want to continue to make use of the word tribal, she will destroy you. I saw it. We saw it. It was pretty painful. A lot of people we tried to avoid that, and Carolina was really mad with me just because I tried to save the business of poor people in South America, in Europe. Like, stop fighting with Carolina. She's your teacher. Like, support her. So her plan was all the time to destroy the business of the students she wanted and just keep her friends, you know? Why? Because you cannot earn so much money having so many students teaching what you know. You know, exactly, like, too many people teaching your stuff, like thousands of people, you need like 100. So they go to study with you again because you change everything. Taisa, she was very supportive of Carolina. But the problem is that Taisa was very close with Danielle Hutton, which was a black dancer that she was a prostitute too. So this is a lot of, they were involved in drugs, they were involved in prostitution, illegal, everywhere. So I really don't know. Danielle Hutton hated Carolina. Taisa loved her. You know, pretty complex, right? So what happened with this is that I totally tried to talk in a Polish way, in a beautiful way, the best English. No, not a single feeling, despite the situation was very complex for me in Mexico. So while I was recording this all day, we were hearing bombs being dropped by drones. Nobody cared, nobody believed us. They were mocking of me, even Mexicans, they were mocking. And some people in Guadalajara and Jalisco, they were lying, blatantly lying, and saying, no, you know, there's no bombs, Ellie. It's just fireworks, it's just fireworks. And I was very mad because some of them were in my family, and I said, it's not fireworks, it's bombs from drones. How you know? You haven't went out. Well, you can see them. And then there were people in my family lying to me, like, no, there's no drones anywhere. You're crazy. And I was shocked. Like, it's on the news, man. It's on the news. Yes, it's on the news. Some people were so horrible, lying to their family members in my country and lying to other people outside. And I was like, it's on the fucking news. It's on the news now. And I was like, so are you lying? No, I didn't know. Of course they knew. A lot of Mexicans knew, and they were like, well, it's not in my house, you know. It's around Ellie house. Oh, so sad, you know. Until their kids die, their spouses die, people are kidnapped in their families. It's not that they start to believing. It's that they want to talk. It's too late. Now they talk, nobody believes them anymore. Why? Because the reality is so shocking, it's so horrible. We don't even need them. So in this thing that happened, it was pretty. It's public on my Facebook wall. I'm gonna keep this video up for 2 weeks at least. You can download this video. I don't care really. And you can download the video from Facebook. I look ugly, but I don't care. It wasn't meant to be made. I made it because people was harassing me, calling me names just for saying, how can we help you? Ukrainian people, do you need some free classes for your PTSD? Do you need help with your mental health? Because I know how to deal with that. And I was harassed. So I revived what I saw in Europe. And I thought, yeah, some people know Ukrainian people harass me, so they trying me to make me go again on the trauma. Because that's what women do, you know? They know your bigger trauma, and they go again, and they make it again, and they make it bigger and better. And I was like, I know this fucking game, and I'm gonna win it. So bring it on. And there were dozens of women attacking me online and spreading the word that I'm a horrible person, saying horrible things to Ukrainian people who is going into war. And I was like, what? So I took screenshots and I put it, and they were more mad, but they stopped. If I haven't acted this fast, they will continue attack me to destroy again my reputation. Just because Carolina Riccio wants to destroy every fucking woman in the world. Because she's lesbian and she hates women. God damn it. She is being investigated long time ago because she has a cult. And nobody talks about it openly. She talks about goddesses, but she talks exactly like these kids that they are in jail now. She's vegan. She's veganism all the time. She's always talking about goddesses. She talks about not being Jewish and not believing in religion. It's a fucking secta, man. People do everything she said. She talks about women being goddesses because they are chubby, and it's just a lie. I mean, if there was a way that there were religions about women being fat, I will be totally in. It's not true. It's just because she's fat and she wants to look like a goddess. I don't know why. I think she's like a Charlie Manson, but a woman. And I'm done. She went too far, and people went too far following her. Well, I was recording that video 2 years back, and where was the date? February 5, we're 19. 14 days, 2 weeks before today, 2 years before, Olga Meos contacted me directly to tell me her opinion that you can see on the beginning. I never contacted her first. So Olga, she spread lies about me, saying I contacted her first to talk about this. And she even made cat sounds, brrr, and this nonsense. And then I never reflected on what the audios she sent, but she was mocking of me. She was saying pro-Nazi things, but also saying, well, I know everything about Nazis. Yeah, I support them. She said to some people that she was a Nazi hunter, but she was supporting Nazis, but she was supported Red Army. She says she was very eager of Afghanistan culture. The problem with Afghanistan culture is that in that year they had Taliban rules taking out girls from classes. She had a girl taking rich classes, so she doesn't care about anybody. So I totally realized Olga wasn't a good person. Meanwhile, she was pretending to be poor to a lot of people. And I'm a good person, and she knew because people told her. Of course, all the sponsors of dancers here mocking of me because they're stupid. Or they were. Like, Ellie doesn't say nothing. She cares about women, so you can tell her everything. She's not gonna spread words, she's not gonna talk about you. So I realized people have told me things because they knew Ellie's not gonna say what you told to her. She's super nice. So you can mock of her. And she did it. She did it because Moria Chapelle was her friend. And they were intending to destroy my career and others' career here in Mexico to bring her and have all our students. And I told to Moria Chapelle why they are supporting her, not us. We are more prepared than her. And of course, they were friends. They were supporting each other. I will guess they are both in New Age stuff because Moria was in that shit. She never told me because I was Catholic. But it was pretty easy to see. So I didn't realize what New Age was. It's a horrible sector too. But horrible. So all of them betrayed, then they make business between them again because they needed the money. Because let's get together again despite destroying our lives and everything. Horrible, there's war, but we don't want these kids to be brilliant and better than us, and then they kill each other again. It has been painful to watch. It has been painful to watch also that Carolina's students, they don't say the truth. They were thousands, man, if all of them would have said, because they were just saying that they hated because of the change of the name. But they never said what they did to them. So we didn't really care about the name. That's pretty simple. So there were some stories I heard here in Mexico about abuse. Verbal abuse, physical abuse by her to some students in the US and Mexicans that went to the US. That I never hear them publicly. Like I have heard them privately. Some of the students that were abused verbally, like insulted by her, or kicked by her with the hand like this on the shoulder, very hard. Years back when I was studying in US, I heard it in US. But also I knew some Mexican ladies, they would talk about that, and later they'd work with her. Lorena Rojas, she said that she was horrible, but she was working with her later. Like I never knew if she worked with her because she offered it for the scandal it was here in Mexico, or to cover it up. I don't know. Lore Rojas, I knew her. She came to Guadalajara and she said she was very tough. And she said not everybody can handle Carolinas. When I was in US, I heard abuse stories about her, and she invented, because till today we know she invented she was sick and she was going to die in 2013. And 2013, when I was 2014, I was in US, and some stories, horrible ones of abuse and power abuse by her, were going out inside the US. She started to invent but she didn't want to talk about it. Pretty smart. That she had a sickness. So she was like, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna retire. And she never retired. So people start to get really, really mad. But they were not honest. They were not saying the abuse stories. Because, you know, it's my life. I studied this all my life. Pretty stupid. Like, you could have went and start and say you were doing tribal style. No. You could have said, I'm doing belly dance fusion style, inspired by Carolina. You can change the names and do the same. And you can say, well, this is what I paid for. I have no good relationship with her. And continue doing your classes like many dancers have done. There's so many ways to do it. And I was like, I don't know why they decided to join her. Probably because she was rich and they were like, we need the money. And she bought them. And they lost their heads. And some of them are dead. Most of them are dead. So weird. Most of them are dead. And all of them were working with her. Like, what happened? You know, like all the people who saw what I saw, it's dying. Teachers, students, all of them is dying. It's horrible, man. Like, it's not even like 1 year ago. This is horrible. There's so many reports of people that their profiles are took by other people and they are dead in Europe and US and Mexico. It's fucking scary. So why nobody's talking? They're gonna die. I don't know, it's pretty stupid. If I was going to die, I would say it out loud. I think they should have asked for help. They just screw it up. Well, I was recording this video 2 years ago, 2 weeks back, 2 years and 2 weeks back ago. I was going through a lot of physical pain. My grandma was very sick. My father was going back and going on to the hospital. He was totally sick of cancer. He's better now, but you know, he's on treatment. But on those days he was about to die, maybe. And I keep calm because I needed to defend my image again of crazy women all over the world. Not all of them were moms, most of them were single. So you cannot tell me that I'm not a soror person. I offer them free classes of English. I offer them help with the PTSD. They didn't care. Because they're super racist. They're so racist, they were screaming, we're better than Germans, we're horrible, we're worse than them, we will kill them, our Red Army will kill them, ha ha ha. That was pretty horrible. So if they don't care about Germans and they are so racist about Germans, they're worse with Mexicans. I'm not blunt. So when I spoke with Olga, she was doing 2 languages. Like, she was trying to look if I was with the Nazis or not. Then she blamed me for, according to her, being a Nazi because people discovered her. And, you know, blame others for what you do. And then she made me a joke with my speakers, and she said, I'm a Nazi hunter. Don't say to anyone. Shh, it's a secret. And I was like, why she's contacting me with the speaker? Then some people said that for her, and that brought her problems because according to other people she was defending Nazis, and according to others she was defending Red Army, and then she's defending Talibans too, because in her country, Kazakhstan, it's supporting since 2024 all the government and all the technology with Afghanistan. But she lives in Estonia, and Estonia has open contracts directly with IT and all technology on Europe to Kazakhstan, which communicates all this technology with Afghanistan, where the Taliban are. And nobody saw it weird. Nobody even thought about it. So on New Year's Eve, prior to New Year's Eve 2024, I said to a lot of people, this is horrible. She works in tech, her husband works in tech. She's coming to Guadalajara to steal our jobs, to steal something, and she's going back there to Estonia to give that information about Guadalajara to support criminals from Afghanistan. This is huge, and people were mocking of me, how you dare, she's a mom. She has betrayed every single dancer. Not just me. She betrayed this Ukrainian lady called Taisa. She betrayed Moria. She betrayed Zoe. She betrayed Carolina. She betrayed everyone. But I said it first, and everybody was against me. Because everybody was going to support her career. And she's jealous. Ellie is jealous. No, I'm not jealous. This is my country. Why she's came in here? And nobody was saying nothing. It's my country, man. I'm watching a threat. A security threat. And nobody cared. All the ladies in Guadalajara, women, men, people in my family were supporting Olga to destroy my career. And everybody was focusing on destroy Ellie. And I was like, fuck it. My career, I have no career. This is a security threat. Nobody cared. Now, a lot of people in Mexico know there's people from ISIS here. ISIS people were also with Taliban. Like, god damn it. And you enter this woman here like a Troja horse. Like, let's bring it here no matter what. Oh, maybe the Taliban will take our country, whatever. Making business with that just because Ellie, we should destroy Ellie's career. God damn it. So, this is the proof. I've been talking like a sweetheart for years. I've been talking super lovely. I've been very nice, very patient with a horrible, horrible woman who didn't care about the lives of anybody. And until I started to swear that year, nobody paid attention to my podcast. And the people who paid attention to my podcast were laughing of me, were laughing of my family and my pain, including Taisa, including Moria, including all of them. And they were, I'm going through more pain. I need more money. Oh, they're just babies. Some or most of them are dead. Why? Because our governments fail us. Billionaires fail us. The army fail us. A lot of people fail to all of us. People should have took their phones away. They were moms, they are dead. Kids, dead. Everywhere. This was prior to a lot of nonsense in the world. This was prior to Palestine, man. Nobody wants to fucking stop their lives to make the right thing. Like, even now, people's making festivals. What the fuck in Mexico? Like, CIA, it's everywhere with drones, people. Like, Elon Musk is saying they're gonna attack places. They're gonna drop bombs. God damn it. Nobody cares. It looks like everybody's fucking high. And no, nothing's happening. Oh, it's fine. We will die, maybe. I'm just fucked up, and that's it. It's horrible. So when I hear Zelensky saying it's not true that the money is not being used well in Ukraine, I'm like, come on, man. Look, Olga didn't care about me. She was mocking of me. And she was not happy that Ukrainians were using the money that way. Because Let's be honest. They send people to get the money and to send it to other people. Like all corruption systems. Not to spend it all alone in Europe. So a lot of people like Olga, I guess her husband was extremely corrupt because he was from Ukraine. They were waiting for money. And they had nothing. So she went to Europe and she was took out because she wasn't Ukrainian. Then she understood how horrible was the thing. But it's a long chain of corruption. I mean, I'm in a corrupted country, man. I can tell you, Ukrainians people are super more corrupt than Mexicans, because they sold their land. They sold the entire country. It's horrible. I've been analyzing these speeches I saw with a different twist. I've been analyzing this with how you call it, rhetorics. It's horrible, man. They are mocking of them, and people is mocking of other people all over the world. Olga is using rhetorics in all the fucking way to talk. So it has been horrible. So the thing is that all this that has happened, nobody cares about Mexico. So if I was shouting and screaming and saying bad words, it's because there's millions of people in Mexico dying. So today, 19th of February 2025, most of my neighbors are dead. I cried for 1 year. I begged for help because people inside where I live, this we call it fraccionamiento, there were 600 people. I guess we're 50, 100 plus. Inside here, moms and grandmas were getting money and putting people to be kidnapped and being killed, and we were used as a fucking butchery. 2 kids in the beginning of the last year were kidnapped. I screamed here. Nobody cared. People in US didn't care. Joe Biden didn't care. Kamala didn't care. Andres Manuel didn't care. People in Europe didn't care. My friends in Europe were laughing at us. We deserve it. They were getting money from doing that shit too there. Who the heck we have become as humanity? This is nonsense. What you have done to humanity, it's gonna pass as a stupidity, biggest stupidity in the world. This is so much worse than a World War III. So much worse. Angela Merkel, every fucking single leader of the world provoked this. Everyone. Dalai Lama. All of you guys. You'd never care about us. You were laughing while my family was being destroyed because you have no fucking kids, no fucking life. Sorry, my father is more important than you, asshole. Perdón, papi. So I'm just leaving this because nobody cares about Mexicans, and I have to fucking say in English because you are so fucking lazy to talk in Spanish or to learn fucking Spanish. So I'm sorry for being smart than you guys and to insult you, all of you, but probably my country has half of the population We were like 100 million. Maybe we're 50. 100,000. I don't care. Probably half of the population is alive. Probably. The worst. Most of the foreign people who came in these trains that Republicans in the US allowed to pass over and over, migrants from South America, they stayed here, they were killed. Because my government doesn't provide jobs, doesn't provide a shelter, doesn't provide food. They were staying on the streets. If they were lucky, some people will help them, but we have no jobs. So you were mocking of me, oh, this beautiful girl, she doesn't know nothing. Now that you know that I'm very smart, that I have Nazi blood, which I feel very embarrassed, and I can have access to a probably citizenship in Spain, now you respect me. You are disgusting. I was offering proofs in this podcast. On Twitch, I was talking on Facebook. Nobody cared. Many of my family members were fighting to die for a fucking house. This is the situation my country is. You were allowing Mexicans to grab the criminal power in many cities to use us politically. And allow us to be blamed for all your fucking problems. I've been here in my house. I haven't went out from outside of my house just to the park since I came back from Europe 2022 June, July, because people wants to kill me here, because people are giving them money, because I'm a fucking testimonial of all of this nonsense in Europe and US. You are disgusting human beings. People in my family didn't listen to me. I told them they had to go to the police and the FBI, and you were giving them money to buy drugs and go and travel the world. You are disgusting. So what else? I don't know. We're done with a lot of shit. So, what's gonna happen next? I think that what's coming is that US government has some deals with Mexico. They have sent hunters, planes, and I forgot the name, with radars, and my country, it's a fucking graveyard since long time ago, but now most of my country. So Andres Manuel family has a bad karma, but who cares? They are still in power, you know. My president, which is a woman, she has no power. There's basically no government. They do nothing but PowerPoint slides all days. No, but at least this president, a difference with Andres Manuel, she gets the calls, because Andres Manuel was always too busy. At least my president, which is a woman, she gets the calls. She gets some security meetings bigger than my former president, which I never elected none of them. I never voted for none of them. I always voted for PAN. Despite I was not so happy with the elections. And we knew there were, not with Andres Manuel. Andres Manuel, he earned the place. That's for sure. Which is very sad for me and disgusting. But he earned his presidential position, despite it was arranged. He totally earned it. It was totally democratic, which is very sad. This president, it's very well known. A lot of people voted for the opposition, and she won. So we all still believe it was a thievery, but how can we do something? They are in power, you know, and this is. I can swear it's a narco government, but it's not from now. It's since 2018, 1st of December. I saw narcos inside companies, and they did nothing. You know, the Coppermex and all of them, they did nothing. They just were like, okay, we don't want more drama. We don't want to be on the newspapers. And the presidents and from foreign companies and local companies, national companies, they decided, let's have not a lot of noise and just move on. Let's work with whoever is there. So they also sold my country somehow. Just not a war, an internal narcos war where they can sell your body and they can sell everything you own, take your house. And they made families fight for taking the houses of everyone, destroy our souls, our hearts. Kids are dead. Grandmas, everybody's fucking sick, tired. So you don't have a revolution, which is pretty smart. And I mentioned about it, and nobody cared. They wanted just to have the drugs because we could die. So better to die this way and just like, okay, take my body, than going to war. Wow. Sorry, revolution. It was better to just, okay, give me the drugs. You don't want me to destroy your government. Give me the drugs. Just, it's a pretty sad situation. What's the thing? According to many reports from militaries and a lot of people that I've heard on the news, there is some agreements between Mexico and U.S. because U.S. took half of the Mexican country. Mexico sold it, but it was because of, you know, U.S. had a better army. It was a little bit pushed, but so these countries, my country, Mexico and U.S., they have agreements that are very serious to avoid a war between them, because some Mexicans totally hate gringos, and some gringos totally hate Mexicans, and it's because drugs, it's because criminality, it's because racism, whatever you call it. It's because you know, many gringos come here to live, or gringas, and then they have relationships, and then they have families, and then they fight each other for the inheritance. They fight each other for who is better, gringos or Mexicans, and it's really lame. And then you have the Americans who are born from Mexicans, but they feel better and superior, and they are racist, but they look Mexican, and it's like, oh my god. So because of that, there are international agreements between Mexico and US, between the militaries and the governments, which are respected, and they have to be respected. Otherwise, my president, Claudia Sheinbaum, she's always saying that they are cooperating, which is she's cooperating with a lot of people, and the problem is that she has to, otherwise she's the president, otherwise Mexico will have a war with the US. Like, there's no choice. Like, you have to allow them to be in Mexico, CIA, FBI, Pentagon, all of that, because otherwise they will declare a war for Mexico, and we have zero chance to win that. We know that. So she's just trying to put everything like okay and whatever. So it's pretty depressing. Everything is really depressing, and I'm really bad. So I try to make it the good way, and this is a proof. Nobody cared. They were laughing and mocking of me. Not just here, in Europe, I was followed and persecuted by ISIS. They persecuted me. all over Zurich and all over Germany. And some of my friends were working with them. I didn't know. Some of them, I hear they're dead. I'm not sure. I don't really care. They didn't care about me. They might be dead. For what I hear, a lot of people confirm it. I don't want to know. Why? They didn't care about me. They left me on the streets to die, to be used my body as an organ or whatever, or to be eaten by cannibals. They didn't care. I forgave them, and they were not honest with me. They lied to me, and they said to my parents I was crazy, and that I saw in Europe wasn't true. They never saw it. And I was like, how can you see it? You never leave your fucking house. So it's very depressing. So my country is now full of CIA, FBI, planes, helicopters. We have a narco government, and nobody cared. Nobody cared enough. So the worst is that probably the Palestinian war was the Palestinian war started because Mexicans were in Palestine, DJs and the organizers, and they flew the place just before the bombings started. So that happened because nobody cared. And so all this nonsense about the AFD and the AFD political party in Germany, it was a party for them in Palestine because they want Nazis back. So now what? I don't know. The world is a mess. Everything is out. So for all the monarchy that wanted back the Nazis or the monarchy back, shit, back to what? You cannot even put that shit. You destroy the fucking world. Your family members are dead too. So what's monarchy? Which monarchy is nonsense. People wanted to have revenge for the family killings, for losing kids. This is nonsense. I have heard rumors that half of Mexican population is gone. Half. How much were on the last census? And they're gonna lie. Well, if US is here, they can't. Because they will love to say that. But they like to be the heroes. 126, 14,024 millions of people. According to what I heard, we're probably 50,000 million now, or between 50 or 70,000 million, something like that. Because prior with the pandemics, people were talking about some overreacting numbers were saying 20,000 million dead in pandemics. So what have you done to avoid this? Maybe nothing. Maybe just laughing of me and other people. Maybe laughing of Taisa. Maybe laughing of everyone. Which is disgusting. We told them we need a revolution, a pacific one. You were just in your houses watching TV, getting money from your government or criminal groups, and just having fun and having sex. So a lot of people I have knew, for example, younger people, younger than me, that had kids, all of them are dead. Their kids and their couples, them. Their father, grandpas, everyone. So it's pretty painful, despite we knew they were involved in drug dealing or drug consuming. You cannot imagine what it's to hear. Ellie, there's a lot of dead people around us, Ellie. My mom told me that just once, a few months ago, crying, and she couldn't even complete the sentence. So I cannot. Why? Because they were lying that they were okay or they couldn't attend the phone, and then my mom has been trying to talk to all of them, and now she realized they are dead. Like, I don't know how many people it's around me. We were 600 people. Now maybe we're 50. The problem, a lot of them were paid to be violent against me or against the other neighbors, or sell their dead bodies to criminality. I don't even know what for. Like, how many people will need a lung or a kidney? How the heck you're gonna, you know that kidney it's good for you? Like, that's so stupid. Well, humanity is stupid. So yeah, we're doomed. How beautiful. So what's coming next? Nuclear bombs, right? I hope not. I will pray for that. Last minute, I didn't want to save this because I'm gonna save this video to YouTube, and I didn't want it to ramble or scream or say bad words, but whatever. Our Pope has probably renounced, Catholic Pope. I'm waiting to see if that's a truth or a lie, because you know Facebook has no more things about to know if it's a lie or not. In that case, I think it's totally fine. He was very sick. But that's the last news. Apparently it's true. I don't know. Why? Because we have to check it out. Because Facebook has no check stuff. So I don't see it anywhere else, but just one video. I don't know. I will have to check. Let's see. So I don't know what happened in the world that people wanted this so much. Yeah, a lot of people say that that's weird. Okay, there's just a few. Okay, I think might be a lie. Yeah, it's a lie. So good to go, so he can recover fully, but if I will find it totally normal that he quits if he wants. So let me show that, because they're gonna. Okay, well, Fernanda Familiar says he quit, but it's not. Oh, okay. I don't know if we'll see it later, but Fernanda Familiar says that there's a confirmation that the Pope has signed his renounce. She's a good journalist. Let's see. I don't know. It's not on the Vatican yet, but maybe, you know, some journalists, they say it first before the biggest so I don't see nothing in the Vatican, but if there's something to announce, there will be an announcement. I'm not sure, I just see it there, and I see it on CBC. The rest are talking that he's getting better and better and better, so I don't know. Maybe it's a lie. Yeah, I just see Fernanda Familiar saying he quit. Probably truth, I don't know. So I don't know. It's pretty weird. I don't see it anymore. But you know, sometimes happen that these news were first in Mexico with other popes. So when when the Pope John Paul died, it was first told in Mexico. So we don't see it, but we have to wait. If he quits, it's normal. Like, he can quit. If he's too sick, like, I think it's fine. Oh, maybe it's the same letter he had and somebody took it. I don't know. The Vatican. Honestly, I don't know. We will see. Oh, I think maybe that was the renounce he gave if he was too sick. That he did it years back. I don't know. We will see. So let's wait for confirmation for that, because the church keeps moving on. If they are there or not. No. So what now? I tried, man. There's evidence I tried with the best language. Being Mexican, getting so many backlash, being hurt, my family being in a lot of pain, my father had cancer, having a horrible family that hid me a lot of horrible things, Mexican government hiding my own family, horrible things about my own family, and that we discovered because of old pictures and old videos, and some Mexicans laughing of me and laughing of others because we didn't know that maybe we had some criminals in my family. And that's the reason why you didn't believe me, maybe, why you never told me. Like, nobody told me I had family members linked to criminality. They were just laughing. You are disgusting. You did this to other people. Because what? Nazis wanted to be back in power, not revealing to anyone they were Nazis. Narcos, they wanted to be in power, their big revenge because my brother was killed, or somebody my friend was killed. Come on, you're a fucking narco. You know the danger of this profession. Why they mess with civilians? It's horrible. I never mess with criminality here. They got crazy. And you allowed this because people, it's paying for that thing. And the best drugs, people, are Mexican drugs, right? That's what everybody said in Europe and US. The biggest market. So you can blame us for all your nonsense in your countries. But you created so many deaths. You people, you were dying for consuming drugs. A choice. We were dying for those drugs. You were having fun. It's different. So there's people who claim openly they belong to a criminal group. They're not in jail. They continue to sell people to be kidnapped or their bodies to be sold. Nobody cares. So what's there? This is what you wanted, anarchy, right? That's what we are. Why you don't like it anymore? Because it hurts you. But you wanted this. Anarchy hurts everyone. Anarchy doesn't respect any law, any judge, any system, any political party, any mafia. Most of you who are listening to this nonsense, you wanted anarchy. You have it. So now what? You don't like it because your families are dying? That's anarchy, man. You have no justice, not even from criminals, especially criminals. So I don't know what's coming, but I think it's huge. And I feel really sad every time I see a news. And I mean, gringos have been horrible with me, but some others have been very sweet. Others change with time, but I have been seeing on the news, people dying from a car crash in a school, and this shooting, a plane. Is just horrible. Their country is destroying too, and I saw Europe being hurt so much with my own eyes. Ukraine only on the news, but it looks like most of Ukraine is destroyed. So what now? I feel it's so painful to just being seated here trying to make sense of the nonsense of other people, to just give the news and to just try to analyze the information, which is true, which is a lie. It's just really horrible. So I wanted to show this today because there's rumors, about many people I talk in the video. I don't want to confirm or say nothing to avoid gossip, but there's horrible rumors about all of them. But people is saying that it's not true, that Ukrainians are not doing nothing wrong in Europe. And I'm like, I don't like Olga. She never liked me. She was mocking of me. We were agree that Ukrainians were doing nonsense in Germany. And we didn't like each other. She was totally destroying the careers of everyone here, not just me. How I knew she was destroying the careers of all the sponsors here, and they didn't know. She was making everybody fight to work with her, but she was also destroying the careers. Every time she was talking to anyone in Mexico, she will be betraying them. How I know? Well, because I know a lot of people in belly dance all over the world. So eventually you know that she betrayed everyone. All the sponsors she has worked, all the students. She has been saying all the information she knows about everyone. So it has been very painful. Also, she destroyed the career on the backlash, on the background, behind the scenes, of all the sponsors that didn't work with her. And I saw it. And how could I told them? They didn't like me, they mock of me, they want to destroy my career. They were going to trust me about it? Now they know. But now that everybody knows, I think this looks even worse. So I just mentioned what was happening. Nobody believed me, with a beautiful accent. Well, I was sick. Nobody believed me. So now what? I don't care if you believe me or not, you know it's true. All of you who have money and you're going out, you could stop this before, and you don't want to stop this not now. People is only stopping because they're dead or they're too sick. It's pretty painful. So I don't know what's coming, but I wish the best. And Europe is saying lies. Who started this war? A lot of people. First, Donald Trump, when he renounced to the nuclear agreement. Then Zelensky. Why? He borrowed the land to Russia. According to many sources, Ukraine has been attacking themselves. And they say without proofs that Russia is attacking them since day one. So Ukraine was defending them, attacking people from Russia who had borrowed land, who was Russian land, legally. So when they declared the war, it was to defend it themselves. So who started the war? According to legal terms and legal resolutions, it was Ukraine. So I might not like many things about Trump, but he's right with this. Zelensky started the war. I felt betrayed by, as a Mexican, by Joe Biden being, and people were mocking of me after I came back from Europe. Joe Biden wearing clothes similar to mine, making pictures of him, mocking of me because I want to be in politics. I didn't want to be in politics. I don't know why he did that. I think he went crazy because he made so many pictures copying my pictures, and I was like, why he's doing that? I think he regrets that. I don't know if they say to him I was lying or if I was in politics, but they lied to him, and he's insane. But that's not a big problem for me. Like, I'm a tough kiddo, I don't care. But the problem is that this caused the losing of time and people mocking of the wrong things and distraction. Meanwhile, they didn't stop the war, and the town or the city where Joe Biden was raised, everybody became very rich with the war because they were creating the bullets and all the metal stuff for Ukraine. So they were distracting you guys with me. Meanwhile, people in US were becoming rich. So all these towns that were making weapons for Ukraine, they have blood all over the city. Ukrainian blood, Russian blood, and Mexican blood, because those weapons arrived to Mexico via Ukraine, because Ukraine has sold the weapons to Mexicans. Criminals, of course. And these criminals tried to kill Putin, and they tried to they killed people in a concert hall. How we know? It's Mexico. You have been using Mexican criminals to do that. We learn from that. It's horrible. We hear it on the streets. People mocking of that. So what's the problem? Now the CIA, the Pentagon, FBI, it's around here. They're learning all of that with their own eyes. Must be very tough. So I don't know what happened with Joe Biden, but God, this is just horrible. I'm not a political fan of Trump. I'm actually the opposite. But he's right. I'm a data analyst. He's right on this. So now what? How are you gonna fix this? You can't. So the first person who has said this is worse than a third world war, it's Trump. That's pretty sad, man. Do you understand how horrible our leaders are, that the first guy to accept the destruction all over the world, it's worse than World War III? It's Trump? Really? Like, that is so horrible. No other world leader is accepting that. Only him. Wow. Like, he's not gonna be the hero, we know that, but he's making look everybody else like crappy guys. How that happened? You know, he was one of the lowest standard of presidency all over the world, and now he's been honest? Like, really? So now what? I don't know. Let's wait for what happens. Let's wait for the news. I still don't see nothing about the Pope. I think it's a lie. So I wanted to keep it this. I was having mixing thoughts, but oh, maybe he only has the letter he already signed a few years back when he was sick, and they were reviving that, but I don't see any other news. Nothing from the Vatican. So I think it's the same one he already had when he got sick a few years ago, which is it's a requirement for all popes. It's good. I think it's okay. It's the protocol. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. As a Catholic, well, the church goes on, you know. Should be another pope, you know. Yeah, so I don't see anything but Fernanda Familiar, and I think it's just the one that the renounce he already had. So just leave it there, in case this thing is erased or whatever. So I'm gonna stop doing this because I want to keep this video on YouTube too. I'm pretty sad. The Nazis' revenge and Narcos' revenge together, and criminals' revenge, and Red Army, and all these old guys wanted to see blood, and all traumatized for the blood they see, and the kids they lost, and the lives they never lived because of the fucking criminality and the fucking war. And they wanted us to live that, to be traumatized as them. Well, you succeeded. I hope you feel happy and you feel better when you die, destroying the world, because you wanted this. Why you're crying? Why you're suffering? You wanted this. So kids were killing each other, sisters, brothers, families, entire families, political parties, criminals, mafia gangsters, well, you know, my Mexican government since 2022 wanted a mafia war. There you go. There's a mafia war since then. People maybe never noticed, but it was really tough already in Europe. Probably never noticed until people were dying, you know. So I hope you feel very proud because you made it. One person who called herself my friend, she wasn't. Amanda, she made me a prank as Olga on the speakers. You couldn't stop it, Ellie. She was mocking of me. I couldn't stop what? Millions of deaths. She was happy about it. So, you know, now what? So now we have to move on. And how can we do that with barely alive people? I don't know, people didn't want to make a peaceful revolution and didn't want it to fix the things on the desk. They wanted to march and die on the streets. So, I apologize, but I have to go because I need to take some water. I need some water. And I hope you had enough, because we had it. So now, moving on. I hope this nonsense of war ends everywhere and people start to talk the truth as it is, not their version of the truth. Like, everybody now is asking for the truth, but they're not talking the truth. They are talking their version of the truth. Right now it's a mess. People it's attacking each other, and it's gonna continue like that. So I ask you to pray for our Catholic Church and our Pope and everyone around, because we need healing most than everything. And I want to say hi to all my friends and all the people that hear this and they never felt betrayed, insulted, because they are fighting for a good thing, for a good cause. And I want you to say thank you, because you are in my prayers. And I notice there's not only evil in the world, but honestly, when people say there's more good on there's more evil in the world, I don't believe it either. But I don't think there's more good people than bad people. There's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of evil people that still wants to destroy everything. So don't lose your precious time arguing or fighting. Focus and fight for the good things, because otherwise we're gonna lose everything. I watch around, and I remember 1 month ago, maybe November last year, my mom coming around. Ellie, there's a lot of people that in where I live, in the fraccionamiento. And then, not corpses, like they try to go to the houses to say hi or talk to people, and they are dead. They don't answer to the door, or somebody tells you they died. Then one, my father said, "Oh, Ellie, I just see that. I just see that." I haven't been able to ask them who is alive and who is not, because it's so much people. You can't fix this. All the truth's gonna be out. All of it. And you destroy the opportunity to be forgiven, to fix it, to give money to poor people. Nobody's gonna forget this. If you have kids, you know kids get rebellious, right? So I'm totally feeling like I had to make this video with this information, despite it's super private, because otherwise I have the feeling that people is gonna start to erase their profiles on Facebook and everywhere. So that's it. Thank you to everyone who still listens to this and who is still eager to fight for Mexico or whatever your country is. And blessings and a lot of thank you to our military service in Mexico and in the US, because they are trying their best to protect civilians like me and others that go to work every day, kids that study, but it's just unbearable. Nobody's gonna forget that either. So let's just pray.
Yes, I understand that every life must end. as we sit alone, I know someday we must go on. Yeah, I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love. Some folks, they got one, yeah, others, they got none. Stay with me, or let's just breathe. Practiced on my sins, never gonna let me win. Under everything, just another human being. Yeah, I don't wanna hurt. There's so much in this world to make me believe. Stay with me, you're all I see. Did I say that I need you? Oh, did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, I wonder every day as I look upon your face. Everything you gave and nothing you would take on. Nothing you would take, everything you gave. Did I say that I need you? Oh, did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, nothing you would take, everything you gave. Oh, hold me till I die, meet you on the other side.
It's 9:15. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat.
I thought Grammarly just fixed grammar. They make boats now?
It's more of a metaphorical boat, because I've been using Grammarly's AI for years to keep me high and dry. Try it. Grammarly can look through your writing to make it easier to understand. See? Shorter.
Oh,
Clearer.
cool.
And better. Now people will get what you're trying to say, and you won't be flooded with confused emails.
Can you do mine?
No problem. Your writing's good, but your word choices could be better.
Wow.
Now your writing is as confident as you are.
Oh, well, what about our proposal?
Let me take a look. Woof. You'll be in deep water if you show this to the CEO. Grammarly can point out what's missing. Right there. The CEO will want to see a deadline. And here you should connect the projections back to company strategy.
Yeah, how could I do that? Mia, can you do a deep dive?
On it. 10% higher revenue by next year.
I'm sending it in.
The CEO loves it. Budget and headcount are approved.
Let's get everyone on board. I meant figuratively.
Download Grammarly for free